Oh yeah, you're not welcome. We know who you are. You got caught. You got caught. You got caught.
The ICE is here. They are going door to door. They are stopping folks on the streets, and they're not just targeting undocumented. They're targeting every Somali person. It feels like we are in, I don't know how to explain it, a war zone. I feel like people are like afraid to get out of their houses. I am getting calls from my resident that I represent, city of Minneapolis, saying that, what should I do? Should I come out of the house?
Shalom. First, start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and also great millstone. Likewise, brothers, put on this truth. Faithfully fear to see, feeding the sheep, and do brothers and sisters. Doing again, Shalom. Today's lesson's title, The Dogs Are Running Scared. And you saw in that opening clip there, one of the dogs speaking. Okay, we know the dogs are these other tribes, these other nations that are here in Great Babylon, America, okay, that benefited from the blood, sweat, and tears of the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, who endure hardship beyond comprehension and yet still under oppression from the so-called white man. Let's go into the book of Luke 16 and start verse 19 before I play some more clips and bring up some more scriptures. And it reads, there was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, signifying wealth, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, which speaks of us, the children of Israel, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sore. And those dogs, as I said earlier, are these other tribes. Now, what's taking place here in Great Babylon, America, okay, is something that these other tribes didn't see. Okay, you know, they sat on their leisure, you know, smiling, laughing, smirking, you know, thinking that Esau was only going to go after the so-called blacks and the so-called Latinos here in Great Babylon, America, okay, because they don't understand the significance, okay, between the tribes of Israel, okay, and the Edomites, okay, this ongoing battle between Esau and Jacob, and really all they are really, you know, basically stand-ins, so to speak, like that, okay. Whoever the winner is, okay, they're going to serve. Currently, right now, Esau, okay, is in the rulership position, so right now they're serving him. So every word that comes out of his mouth, you know, they believe, they buy into it. They buy into the freedom, the democracy that they're going to get, you know, escaping, you know, war-torn lands, you know, and, you know, we live in this cauldron kingdom, you know, known as America. You know, with all the different kinds of tribes here, you know, each and everyone bringing their own way of life, their own culture, okay, and for a while it worked, but the Lord Yahweh Shai is bringing a closure to the rulership of the so-called white man. And what these other tribes don't realize is this is Deuteronomy 30:7, and it reads, and the Lord Yahweh Shai, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Now, you know, some jakes will argue and say, well, I have the best friends and members of these other tribes, you know, and that might be the case, and that could be the case there. Keep in mind, okay, you know, Israel is a scattered tribe, okay, so we have people of our tribe that look like the other people, okay, so yeah, you might be cool with someone that look like an Asian, and because that person might be a Jake, as well as they may be an Asian, okay, or Moabite or an Ammonite or whatever the case is like that. But nonetheless, these other nations, okay, starting with Esau, are enemies, okay, and they hated us. They've come over here, they've scorned us, okay, and you can see these nations have thrived over here. Okay, they have, little Russia, little Italy, little Saigon, Japantown. You have Koreatown. You have little Russia. I mean, they have it all. Okay, businesses, restaurants. Their own little cozy community in which they're able to recycle, the money, and us, being a tribe of people that are lost in the sauce and desiring an identity, a true identity, we have supported their wealth. Okay, this is why they look at us even more. They spit in our food. They help the so-called white man, beat our ass down and oppress us. But guess what's happening right now? You see, what they don't know is what we know as the man of the Lord, is that Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is the book of Psalms 55 and 21, and it reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword."
He continued to attack people that don't look like him, that don't have the same beliefs, that are different somehow. But one thing that all of us have in common, we're all Americans. We all love this country and call this country home. And for him saying what he say, it doesn't divide us. And I'm going to push back. I'm going to continue to tell our president, sir, stop dividing. Americans, stop putting them versus us versus them.
Now, he hides behind his words. It's smooth, come on over, America, land of the free, opportunity. They give easy loans to these people. You don't have, you have a don't harass policy with the cops. They don't go look at these people. And, the star of this lesson is the Somalians. Okay, as you're going to see these clips. Okay, and, they, if you ever met them in real life, many of them, they're the same skin tone as you, yet still somehow they feel significantly superior. Okay, which is just so laughable. But I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying, these ICE agents going around and stomping the shit out of these other tribes. Seriously, I really am enjoying it, because we already know through the scriptures that they're going to come in as a flood against us. We already know as the prophets that they're going to come against us. See, our mind is already prepared for it. Our mind is already prepared for the dog getting kicked down, them beating the shit out of us. Our family probably faint when they see us getting our ass kicked or whatever. The kids get hauled off. But we know that's part of the journey we have to go through. Okay, that's actually a good thing. Okay, because what? We're going to get the crown of life after going through all this hell. Okay, let's go into Isaiah 24 and 11, because this is experience right now. Okay, I've always said this man doesn't care about his own people. I mean, what makes you other tribes think that he's caring about you? You see, he's going through all these little towns now. Okay, you had like this Russia restaurant, for example. They had to change the sign, because what's happening right now, you have Edomite against Edomite. Okay, you have friction between Babylon and the Medes. Okay, so right now these people don't feel safe right now to even have the word Russia on their restaurant sign. They have to change it. All right, so this can tell you the kind of situation that we're in, the basically the environment that we have here in Great Babylon, America. And keep in mind that a lot of these people that are over here, they have diverse background in all kinds of destructive patterns. Yet still people looking at Jake. Jake don't know how to build roadside bombs and stuff like that. Unless you serve in the military, Jake, some really don't know how to even use a handgun even properly. But these people, they come from places where dead bodies is something that you see every single day. Killing and murdering is something that you see every single day. Even eating the flesh of other human beings is something that they do, and they basically they're going to be very suited for the situation that's going to be coming here in Great Babylon, America. This is Isaiah 24. Now reads, "There's crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened. The murder of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation. The gate is smitten with destruction."
I think he's just doing it because I think he's not doing a great job as president, and that's why he has to create other problem and hate, as he always does. Whenever something is not going the right way, he always creates like divergency and problems between communities, so that the communities don't focus on what he's doing wrong, and they focus on each other and hating on each other. The fear among the Somali community is real. Like this mall, if you come to like around noon, nobody's here. It is deserted. Every business is closed, and it has been like this for the last 3 days. And we are really, as small business owner, I'm scared that people are not showing up to buy from me. And I am like, I don't want to close my business. And this community is full of fear. They don't want to come out. And a lot of businesses are closed. They are not able to come and work and pay their rent. So I don't know what's going to happen. The future today, as of today, the future doesn't look bright.
All right. So, they have come to the conclusion that, the cry of the children of Israel, we go there and we march, march for civil rights, the Black Lives Matter movement, all those things. Okay, it wasn't something that was done just because so-called black people like to complain or so-called Latinos people like to complain. It's because we've just been getting, or catching hell here from day one. Okay, and now that hell is being transferred over to them ever so slowly. Okay, and this is a great sight to see because we know the works of the Lord Yahweh Shai is manifesting before our eyes. Let's go in the book of Psalms 10. And start verse 8 reads, He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
The saddest part is that when my daughter asked me, why us? Why is he picking? Why is he, single us out? Why is he calling us garbage? How do you answer something like that?
In the secret places, though he murdered the innocent, his eyes are privy set against the poor. So legislation after legislation after legislation. Take a look at what the current king of Babylon got to say about these people.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I
saying
wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country, and the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country, and all they do is complain, complain, complain. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon, I hope. But what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. To see if they can stop it, because they make money if this country does badly.
Exactly. All right. So we already told you that they raised up the perfect king. Okay. And I'm not saying they, it's the Lord Yahweh that said he's going to give, the Egyptians a cruel Lord. Well, we live here, and if you look at it, even though we know we're Hebrew Israelites, the documentation that we carry says that we're basically Egyptians or so-called Americans. So guess what? The cruel Lord is sitting in the wicked seat, and he's exercising everything the scripture said that he would do, okay, coming on the world with great wrath. And that's going to be what? In the form of getting people to turn against each other, turning his military force against the people, starving out the people, collapsing the economy. They're going to come up with this technocracy. And, we know when all said and done, it's going to be the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, going into World War III. Which the Mashiach at that time is going to return, okay, and destroy them all. Okay, let's close up with the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 12, and it reads, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. And what is those punishment? Suddenly people don't feel secure. They don't feel safe. Okay, you're hearing it. Okay, they're saying that they're hiding. They're not coming out to show up to work. Their little mall is empty, so that businesses is going to collapse, their little businesses. And guess what? When that happens, okay, they're going to the poorhouse too. The government already saying that they're not going to give out free money and SNAP benefits and all those things that they was doing before. You're going to have to apply. So you can see how this is working. Okay, you see how this is working? It's beautiful, man. Okay, they didn't see it coming. They didn't see the left hook coming. They did not see it. Okay, so they're catching it, and they don't know how to react. See, Jake Marsh, these people, I can guarantee you they can start to pick up the sword first. Okay, because they don't really know how to go about it the way Jake did. Jake was able to march and still kiss the white man's ass, but a lot of these people, they can be like, what, screw this. Okay, and they don't want to live in America in filth, because see, it's almost like a shame to them. When they have to report back to their homeland how they're living over here, it's supposed to be better than they were living back in their homeland. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for the sea shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. See, people dwell in the world mentally and physically. We dwell in the world physically. We have to, okay? But mentally, that's why as watchmen, we watch. All we do is all day. We go through news articles, we go through news media. Some brothers find certain things that other brothers can't find, but we are watching because why? And this is our job. Our job is to watch. Okay, so when it comes down to, we're not freaking out. Okay, we pray to Yahweh Shema Shai that He protects us. Okay, which includes our family and those of the hopefully elect of Yasharala. Okay, it says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand, which is the modern day gun. So, you Somalians, you're gonna fight. Okay, and this is just one episode of these lessons, which is going into whichever dog of the day. The dog of the day is really these Somalis, okay? Trump is after y'all. Oh, and we know that
the Trump administration has dramatically ramped up its crackdown on illegal immigration and is also looking at those in the country on asylum, as this Afghan national suspect was. The State Department has essentially paused all refugee admissions and immigration from 19 countries of concern. It is also pushing allies to scale back on their immigration. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem posted last night she is recommending a full travel ban on every country that's been flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. Those are her words. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt with more on what the administration is doing.
The Trump administration is now actively re-examining all of the Afghans imported into the country by Joe Biden. It is more important than ever to finish carrying out the president's mass deportation operation. America cannot allow millions upon millions of unvetted illegal aliens to be rewarded with amnesty after they broke our nation's laws to come here. We also are taking a look at those who are already in the interior of our country and removing them if they are here illegally, and also taking a look at these visas. Again, having a visa in the United States is not a right, it is a privilege.
The Afghanis, yeah, y'all are next, because supposedly it was an Afghan man that shot 2 National Guard soldiers. So he's brought out this thing where he's doing a remigration. So everybody that's been naturalized in this country, and if you don't look like a cracker, have the mental state or be in a mental state that they're going to come after you to get rid of you. Okay, they're going to come after you to get rid of you. Lord willing, like I said, the Father, that goes about giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.